Bellwether, brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A mix of sun and clouds, breezy and cooler. We'll see northeast winds at around 15 to 20 and an afternoon high of around 46. Partly cloudy skies tonight, low dropping down to 32. Much warmer but windy tomorrow. South winds could gust near 40 with an afternoon high of 72. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
No, it's not, but yes, it is. Austin and Rico with you today and tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm back. You can't get rid of me that easy.
Nope.
2 more hours of Rico. I hope you're ready for this.
It's true.
I apologize for absolutely nothing.
You should also never apologize for anything.
No, I never would.
Good.
I'm the best at what I do.
Are we calling it the shootout with Rico or like the runaround with Rico?
I would call it a shootout.
Shootout?
If it was a real shootout, everyone else would win. But since it's not, I think I got a chance.
Okay. Stay tuned for that at about 2:45 or so. $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Big shout out Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul here in Lincoln. Charles and his crew open. Make sure you go check them out either for a late lunch or make sure you get yourself some dinner tonight throughout the week. Stock up for the Final Four as well, Saturday and Monday. You're going to need it. It's going to be a good Final Four. I'm sure we'll break that down a little bit later in the week. Numbers to get into the show, 402-464-5685 via call or text. Let's just dive right in, Rico.
All right.
You mentioned something that New Providence head coach Kim English did that I think is maybe the most baller move of a first-year head coach of the program.
Yeah, so Kim English, who takes over at Providence, you would think, a new coach is taking over. You got some guys that are in the transfer portal, obviously. Well, Kim English decided he didn't want Jaden Pierre to leave Providence quite yet. So what he did is he challenged Jaden Pierre to a one-on-one. If Kim English wins, Jaden stays at Providence. If Jaden wins, Jaden's free to stay in the transfer portal. Kim English won. Jaden is not leaving Providence quite yet. So he's out of the transfer portal. He's staying at Providence. And I think that is the most amazing thing that a coach can do. And I want to think that Fred Hoiberg, although probably not one-on-one, a shooting contest, I think Fred Hoiberg would be able to beat a decent amount of his team, if not all of them. Like if Keisei Tominaga decided that he wanted to leave or enter the transfer portal, and Fred Hoiberg said, okay, shooting contest, me and you. Five shots each rack, like the 3-point contest all the way around the world. I win, you stay. You win, you do whatever. How much confidence do you have in Fred Hoiberg beating Keisei Tominaga?
I give Keisei 60-40 edge. 55-45?
Man, I
close
think,
though.
I think I would take Fred. I think he's just done it for so long. It's just ingrained in his muscles just to hit those shots. You don't have to run around. You're just shooting.
I'd like to see practice and how involved Fred is. Because, Strick's excuse was he wasn't warmed up. If Fred's not warmed up, but Keisei's been, going through a shooting competition,
yep.
Give it to Keisei. They're both warmed up.
Yeah.
It's a coin flip.
I would like that. I want to see more coaches challenge their players one-on-one, regardless of sport, to keep them in or out of the transfer portal, although I don't know how well that would go with football.
Just lined up an Oklahoma drill.
Yeah, if it's an Oklahoma drill, I don't know what coaches. I'm not taking Matt Rule. If somebody enters the transfer portal and they have to go one-on-one with Matt Rule to stay in the transfer portal, I think they're staying in the
Happy
transfer
trails, young
portal.
man.
Yeah, bye. You're leaving. See ya. But if that happened with Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern,
Fitz has a chance.
Nobody's leaving.
Dion?
If it's like one-on-one, just a jump ball in the end zone.
No, Oklahoma drill.
Still an Oklahoma drill?
Still Oklahoma drill.
I think I'd still take Dion in that one.
Trying to think of other guys. I think he's got it. I think North Texas's guy, the super jacked one, got fired. If he's still around,
if he's still around,
I'm messing with him. Kirby's getting trucked. Saban's
Kirby's
getting
done.
trucked.
Saban's
Dabo's
done.
getting trucked.
Saban's not even doing it. He's just like, go.
Ryan Walters at Purdue might stand a chance.
Oh, that'd be a pretty good one. That would be a really good
Is anyone able to take Bielema down? Just use all this ground.
Bielema just stands there, just boop, just with his belly. I don't know. Mel Tucker. We disagreed on this one earlier.
I'm
but
not sold on Tucker.
You
I'm
see
not.
Mel Tucker's arms. Ain't nobody getting past Mel Tucker. If he gets a hold of you, you're done.
I'm just not sold on it.
I'm buying Mel Tucker in that one. I'm trying to think of anybody. Really, nobody else in the Big Ten, coach-wise,
What about Shiano?
would do.
Hardak? Think he's got that grit and toughness to stay standing?
No, he's still getting.
Franklin's young enough, but I don't think physically strong enough.
He's not doing it. He's not. No.
Harbaugh's going to attack it with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. But
He's going to throw his khakis at him.
He sure will.
Trip him up that way.
Or he can grab that tree that he moved out of the way and put in his player's face. No portal for you. Clear the tree and you get to go.
Psych.
On the basketball side of things, though, other coaches that would beat their players one-on-one. I have a few. It's a pretty small list.
Penny Hardaway, easy.
Penny's on there. Give me Juwan Howard.
Oh, yeah.
I still think Juwan's got moves.
He gets you in the post, it's done.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Oh, I forgot about Jerry Stackhouse.
Stack
He's
at
at
Vandy.
Vanderbilt, right? Yeah. Yeah, nobody's transferring out of Vanderbilt if he's going one-on-one with you.
No.
Ooh.
I also had to look up some young coaches. Wes Miller, he's at Cincinnati
Okay.
right now.
Uh-huh.
When was this article from? So he's 40 years old now, 41 years old now. Played on North Carolina's 2005 championship team.
Oh, okay.
So
He's still got a little bit of youth on his side. He's still got
young enough.
Yeah.
You know, if you know what Wes Miller looks like, you know he's going to be dangerous from the outside.
Yep.
People
keep saying John Shire at Duke.
So here's the thing with Shire. Dude can play.
Yeah.
Dude had to give up playing because of he got poked in the eye and severed an optical nerve.
Ew.
So that's why he wore glasses for the longest time.
Uh-huh.
He just couldn't play in the NBA because one of his eyes was jacked up.
Huh.
So
So
if
he
he
can
has
still
his
ball.
vision back, he could still play. Yeah. Because he's
Well, if you give him
mid-30s.
if you give him goggles, like prescription goggles, you think he's beating him? Duke's got some athletes now.
It depends on who. I would take John Shire over like Jaden Shute, maybe Jalen Blakes. Maybe the big men too.
What if you had it? So we're talking about.
Shire's a good call though.
So we're talking about coaches playing their players to keep them out of the transfer portal. What if you had to beat someone to bring them into your school?
What about Hubert Davis? Hubert had got some NBA run.
How old is Hubert though?
Not overly.
He's not terribly old, but I think he's if you're over 56.
Hubert Davis is 52.
Okay, so if you're over
John
56,
Shire's 35.
I'm not giving you the best chance. There are certain people over 56 that might have a chance, but that some of them not so much. When he was at Georgetown, Patrick Ewing is still giving buckets.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes. I'm just trying to think of guys who played because I can think
It's
of
hard.
some young coaches.
Is
But-
Tim Miles keeping anybody at San
Oh,
Jose
God.
State?
Tim Miles is not. Tim Miles is tripping over the cords before. If the challenge was Tim Miles, don't trip over this cord and I stay, 50-50 shot.
You still might leave. Guilt Nerd says, I'd love nothing more than to do an Oklahoma drill against PJ Fleck. He will run at you with the enthusiasm of a lion and a baby gazelle.
Just don't let him hop in that kayak.
But man,
Both could be tough to move.
if he doesn't get trucked, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go well for PJ.
No, it's not. PJ's losing all of his players.
If you had the strength coach do it, I bet there'd be like 10% of the transfers is all. 90% of guys would have
Strength
to stay.
coaches?
Yeah.
What sports, what other sports? Because we're talking basketball and football. Football would be a little dicey with certain coaches, but like, what other sports could you go one-on-one with your athletes to get them to stay and have a pretty good chance of beating them?
If a pitcher wanted to transfer, put Will Bolt in the box against him.
Ooh, like baseball or softball, you gotta get a hit or you gotta strike him out.
Yeah. You're just getting a bat.
Interesting. So if it's not a pitcher, do you get the pitching coach up there?
No, I don't think you do that.
No.
I mean, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because some head coach, I don't know. You would think maybe they'd be able to get a few, but I don't know how many.
First to third time, second to home time.
Will's not winning that. Like, I like Will, but he ain't winning that.
I'm trying to think. I think Troy Tulowitzki's still an assistant somewhere. Tulo would,
You got to strike out
Right.
Tulo to transfer.
as long as he doesn't tweak his back swinging, he's good.
Bryce has a home run derby for baseball. Come on.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Good call, Bryce. I don't know if I take Will Bolt in a home run derby, though.
I would not.
Maybe he has sneaky pop, but I've never seen Will Bolt in a home run derby, and there's probably a reason for that.
A bunt competition. Kind of like
Take
Japanese,
Will Bolt in that one.
Kind of like Japanese baseball, their all-star stuff. They have like the targets, so you have to bunt it into like a bullseye. Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Tommy on the text line says, I bet Jake could beat Mike McDaniel at the Dolphins.
Oh, Mike McDaniel isn't doing anything.
Mike McDaniel is the prototypical coach for this age that, like, came up Sean McVay-esque, but McVay's at least jacked.
Mm-hmm.
McDaniel's your cubicle guy.
Oh, yeah. McDaniel's the guy that played Madden growing up and was just like, you know what? I think I could do this. And then actually did.
Here he is doing it. Oh, crap, I'm here.
He's like, oh, wait a minute. This was not supposed to happen. And he acts like that, too. He's like, this is weird. And it's kind of cool. Like, I dislike him because he coaches the Dolphins, but he seems like a pretty cool guy. Seems like a pretty likable guy.
The conversation they had him mic'd up with Tua about on the sideline, that was a dope conversation.
Oh, yeah. He seems like a really great coach. He seems like a guy that a lot of people would like to play for. Box neighbor Zach says wrestling going one-on-one.
Are you messing with Mark Manning?
I'm not messing with Mark Manning.
I'm
not getting on that mat. I'm not touching that. Nope. Hard pass. Track and field. Do you have to do your event against your coach?
See, that's the thing, because I assume most of these coaches, had their own specialty event as well.
Nebraska's...
Or what if you do like a pentathlon or decathlon against your coach in your comfort zone and out of yours?
I think that would be better, because you're going to have an event that you're better at.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have an event that they're better at. Yeah. No, I like that one. Yeah. You got to do just
heptathlon,
just 5
events.
Pentathlon. Just 5 events.
Okay.
Just a pentathlon. Each one of you gets your
Sprint,
specialty.
Hurdle, distance, throw, jump.
Each one of you gets your specialty, whatever that is.
Okay.
And then you throw in a sprint, a hurdle, a jump if one of you isn't specialty at that, and a throw.
I would say pole vault, except that's an easy way to get people to snap necks, so don't do that.
No, poles are expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you are actually a pole vaulter, that you're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get a thrower on a pole. That's not happening.
What if you did a low jump?
A low jump? How low can you jump?
Literally. Because you're not going to throw over a high jump bar.
Yeah.
If the coach was a high jumper.
Yeah. You still would. You have to. Everybody gets their specialty, unless it's pole vault. Then you don't. You just scissor kick the high jump. You're not gonna jump over it. So it'll be okay.
Keep those thoughts coming on the text line for coaches that you think would beat their athletes to beat their athlete in their competition to keep them from transferring. Which coaches would be most successful at kicking their own athletes' butts to keep them around? Keep those thoughts coming here.
That would be so cool. Somebody says anybody could beat Pepin. Well, Pepin's not the head coach for track and field anymore.
Justin St. Clair.
Yeah, so even if Pepin was there, he's not. So
the other one then is John Cook, who hasn't played in a long time. I also don't know his side-to-side mobility anymore. Now, if you challenge Kelly Hunter to a setting competition, goodbye. Or hello, I guess.
Or Reyes on a how hard can you hit?
Oh my gosh,
that man can get up,
swing it. The men's college volleyball and even the professional stuff you see in the Olympics scares the crap out of me.
I've heard some people say that it's not as fun to watch as women's volleyball because there are really no rallies. It's just if you get up and you get a clean hit, that's it. You're not going to dig it. You're not going to. It's just down. That's it, because they swing so hard. So it's just
about them messing up more than you prevent.
Yeah, they either have to hit it out or you have to block it. Like, that's really all it is. But there's really no rallies in men's volleyball. It's just this person hits really hard. Good luck.
Get out of the way.
If you get up by 2 points, you're probably going to win that one.
The other person you could not pay me enough money to stand in front of a spike from is Michaela Fecke.
Yeah.
The number of spikes you heard off the floor from her arm, nope, I'm not doing it.
If you ever saw a clean hit from Caitlin Horde, you know when it's clean because it sounds different than anything you've ever heard. Her getting a clean hit, whenever they set her cleanly, which was very rare because she got up so high, she's just hyper athletic that they were like, we just can never put it in the right spot. But there were a couple of times she got a clean one. There's no stopping it. No stopping it. It was gorgeous.
She's going to be an underrated Husker someday. I don't think we value her enough.
Probably.
She was really good.
Yeah.
It
was just oh goodness, it's just so frustrating because if Kenzie Knuckles doesn't get hurt in that freak accident where she tore her ACL, they're in Omaha. They're playing in Omaha.
Oh yeah,
they're beating Oregon. They're playing in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, they're beating Oregon, and then they're beating Louisville, and they're playing in Omaha. But dang it, just a freak accident.
Maybe that's what we need to do sometime. Is a Husker injury what if?
Ooh.
Go back through some of those and just see some of the if this never happens.
Ooh.
What teams have the best season? What players have the best?
That's a
career.
good thing to ask the text line because there's a bunch of different sports fans on there. So I mean,
yeah, text line, hit us up with those. If this Husker athlete never got injured, they're a top 10, 15 Husker of their sport. Their team season goes how many games further?
What team has more success if this one player doesn't get hurt? You guys take your pick. You name the athlete, you name the sport, whatever year. We'll try and remember. We'll try and talk about it. 402-464-5685. Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. And don't forget, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. You can comment on there as well.
And Allo Channel 951.
Yeah, although we can't really talk to us that way. You can text us.
You can
call
watch
us while
though.
you're watching.
You can
us.
listen.
Yeah.
That's all the text line's for.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to step aside here for just a moment. Keep those texts rolling in about the Husker athletes you wish never got hurt. We'll get to some of that. Also talk NFL jersey numbers on the other side of this break.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States. Regular screening can reduce colon cancer deaths by 50%. At-home screening tests, such as the fecal immunochemical test, FIT, can help identify precancerous polyps and prevent colon cancer. FIT is easy to use with no prep needed, completed in the privacy of your own home, and are often free to order from your local county health department. Take a health quiz to know if you are at risk of developing colon cancer. Doing so will help you to protect your family and yourself.
If you're not sure what your evening plans are and want to change things up, look no further than Craft Axe Throwing. Whether for a date night, an evening with friends, or even a private party, you're sure to make memories at Craft Axe Throwing. Trained instructors help make things easy to understand, and a stock bar makes it a great hangout spot. With 13 throwing lanes, there's plenty of opportunity to reserve your spot today. Choose the Lincoln location at craftaxethrowing.com to book a lane or call 402-802-9696. Craft Axe Throwing at 18th and N.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right in West O and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our Peace of Mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
One of the Nebraska Lottery's most explosively fun promotions is back. Cash Blast. Until April 18th, buy a 2x2 ticket, enter the voucher number, and you could win $5,000 or $500. If your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket or a multiple of 7 ticket, your prize is doubled. There will be 7 weekly drawings and 14 total winners in Cash Blast. So play today. You'll have a blast. But that goes without saying. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
We're here with Sam Taylor, who was recently rescued after being shipwrecked on a remote Pacific island since 1993. Mr. Taylor, how are you feeling?
Sunburned.
After your lonely ordeal, is there anything we can get you?
How about a Powerball Quick Pick?
With the starting jackpot in the millions in drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
Would you like something to eat? Some coconut cream pie?
You're kidding, right?
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
On the Block, back with you here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Starter Heyman Jewelers live video streams. On the Starter Heyman text line, we're getting an overwhelming amount of responses for Matt Harrion.
Now, I have a confession. I do not remember Matt Harrion that well.
Ditto.
Now, something to help with that. In 2002, when he was a freshman, that year I was in 3rd grade. So my 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade years were the Matt Harrion years. Really, 3rd, 4th, 5th were the best years of Matt Harrion. So I have heard his name a lot, but I never took the time to actually look up his stats. And I heard that he was a great tight end and would have been one of the best. And looking at these statistics, yeah, I agree.
Kyle Pitts, who?
This man was a problem. What his freshman year, he played in 6 games, right? It says he played in 12, but he only had a catch in 6. So he probably played in the other ones, didn't have a catch. He only had he had 1 catch in all of those games except for 2 catches against Colorado. This man had 1 catch for 33 yards and a touchdown against Utah State, 1 for 44 against Oklahoma State, 1 for 60 and a touchdown against the Longhorns, 1 for 28 against Kansas State. Oh, how dare he only have 28 yards. 2 for 95 and a touchdown against Colorado, and then 1 for 41 and a touchdown against Mississippi. I'm sorry, this was a tight end?
That's insane.
Excuse me. What? Okay, you got text line's going to have to inform me, educate me. What happened to Matt Harrion? Like, what was the injury? Yeah, what was the injury? Okay, shut up. What was the injury that he sustained that cut his career? I mean, he played all 4 years, but I'm guessing it happened sometime after his sophomore year, probably during his junior year that he got injured.
Leg injury, it appears.
Leg injury. Broken leg, says somebody.
Oh.
BYU broke his leg out of bounds. Jeez.
Yikes.
Was that his senior year? During his senior year?
During probably his junior year, because he redshirted in 2005.
So it was after his, so 2004, so it was after during his junior year.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's terrible. Because this man was a problem. Like, wait a minute. He had a 100-yard game against Troy his sophomore year, 3 for 110 and a touchdown. The average yards per catch, he didn't have a lot of catches. Like, he never had a ton of catches every season. He maxed out at his junior year. He had 8 catches, which is just crazy, against Southern Mississippi. 8 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. That's averaging 8.9 yards a catch. which is like the lowest that he's ever had. Not really, but like there's just a crazy. The fact that is like a bad game for him is just crazy.
Well, he averaged 43, 22, 12.5, and 12.5 yards per catch.
Goodness
His 4 years.
gracious.
That's a tight end.
That's just wild.
Matt Harrion,
Like I
has
said,
my respect.
I'd always heard about Matt Harrion, but I never took the time to actually look back and look at his stats. Like, goodness gracious. And he was an in-state guy.
Wait.
He was from Pierce.
We're calling this Alex Smith territory with Matt Harrion? Was it that bad?
Oh, was it really? I feel like I could look it up and find it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, probably.
If it was that bad.
Lunch was a little while ago, but
it's not that long ago.
It's coming up, I bet. Other Huskers that
tried to come back, but the injury was too awful, says Mark and Holland. Probably an NFL second or third rounder. Yeah, easily. It might have been a first rounder. Well, tight ends weren't used a lot back then. And not for receptions, really. Mostly blocking back in the mid-2000s. It could have been the first. No, I mean, not the first, obviously. Because
someone here on the text line says Gronk-esque.
Interesting.
Travis Kelce wanted to be Matt Harrion is what I'm getting out of this conversation.
Box neighbor Zach says he was fast as hell, too. I ran against him in high school.
Probably how you average 43 yards per reception as a freshman.
Look, as a tight, like, goodness gracious. It doesn't even have any of his stats on here. Like, or not stats, but his like measurables.
Mm-hmm.
On...
You're 6'5", 245, according to his Huskers bio.
That's a big boy.
That can move, apparently.
That's a big boy.
A problem.
From Pierce, Nebraska.
Yeah. 2006
preseason number 9 tight end in the nation. Preseason first team all Big 12 2006. Just all of everything for 2006. NU single game tight ends reception record 8 versus Southern Miss. Yeah, I don't see that happening. NU freshman record for receiving yards 301 in 2002.
Someone else is comparing him to Jimmy Graham before Jimmy Graham. Peak Jimmy Graham
was a
monster.
Problem.
Fell off really quick, unfortunately. Again, because of injuries.
So I mean this in the nicest way, because there are ways that you can take this negatively. Was he like Aaron Hernandez? Like on the field Aaron Hernandez. Tight end. Like speed, size, like everything. Because remember when Aaron Hernandez and Gronk were with the Patriots and they would flex Hernandez out as a wide receiver? Or was he the big guy who was also fast? That's my question. Because that's like the two different. Because Hernandez was like was Pitts before Pitts, the tight end that you could flex out as a wide receiver. Or was Harrion like Gronk or Kelce, Jimmy Graham, where it's like a tight end who's big but also is a wide receiver, just one of the bigger wide receivers you're going to have on the field who can also block because they're tight end.
Jeremy on the text line says he absolutely destroyed us in our playoff game in the state playoffs in 2001. Go Lincoln Lutheran Warriors. Yeah. Shout out my Warriors. Pierce will do that to you in the state playoffs, especially when you add someone like Matt Harrion in there. I looked up the score of that game because I didn't know that happened. Ended up 51-7. Pierce over Lincoln Lutheran. Pierce beat North Penn Central 42-17.
Oh, no.
In the quarters. In the semis, they beat Newman by a field goal. And then get a load of this. So Pierce so far has scored 51, 42, and 31 points. They score 7 in the finals against Boone Central, a 9-7 2001 state championship game.
Jeez.
Boone Central did it with defense. They scored 14 points, 21 points, and 24 points.
Look at Pierce producing tight ends. Matt Harrion and now Ben Bramer.
Yeah.
Who taller than Matt Harrion, not as big. 6'6", 215.
To answer the other question you have there, Jeremy, I have not seen the new scoreboards in the main gym. I'm excited to see them. They look absolutely massive. It was about time for an upgrade. I'm glad they were able to get that in, but I still got to drop off some stuff from coaching. So I'll take a peek at him. I'll take a peek at him when I stop by. Okay. Other Huskers. Taylor Martinez is another name we've gotten a couple times. Various injuries. Dude was an absolute monster. We all know. I'm not so sure college football wouldn't have caught up to it a little bit by the time he was a senior.
You think so?
To some degree. He still would have been good. I don't know if he would have been, freshman year Heisman Taylor.
I say, would he, if he didn't get, because he got hurt, his junior year? Like when the injury started cropping up? Yeah. If he doesn't get hurt then, is he further in talks for Heisman? Like, is he possibly going to New York.
His best shot was still his freshman year.
Still his freshman? Okay.
I still think. I mean, think about what he was doing against Kansas State, against Oklahoma State.
I still watch those, and I'm just in awe because his top end speed was something to marvel at. The thing that I'm most impressed with Taylor Martinez was his acceleration. When he saw a hole, if you didn't have somebody there within like half a second of him seeing it, you're not catching him.
Talk about an angle eraser.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Every single time. As soon as he saw the hole, as soon as there was a crease of green, he's splitting the defenders and he's gone. You're not catching him. The long strides. It's like, oh, it's fantastic. It was amazing to watch. And just going back and looking at him, just like, how did Nebraska ever lose with this dude to quarterback? And then you're like, oh, if they had to throw, that's
that was the problem.
Oh, if they ever had to throw the ball.
Trey Bryant was the name you brought up.
It was.
I like that one.
It was Trey Bryant that year that he got. I want to say it was his junior year. He got hurt against Oregon, and that kind of took it all out of him. But
would have been in 2017.
Those games before that, we're looking at Trey Bryant. We're like, oh, wait a minute, like this guy is good. Like this is going to be a good year for Nebraska running backs, and then gets hurt in the first half against Oregon.
He had 20 carries, probably second half.
I think they ran it a lot. I could be wrong. He got hurt against Oregon.
Well,
Whatever.
that 2017 game was the one they would have been down.
It was at Oregon.
Yeah.
So he got hurt against Oregon, whenever it was. And then one of the home games, I remember this because it was not to take a shot at anybody, but there was a podcast that airs on our station on the weekends that was airing and was talking about how Trey Bryant was coming back and how he was going to be an issue for whoever they were facing. But that Wednesday, he had announced that he was medically retiring.
Chronic knee injury.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Got hurt and then
it just
chronic.
It just wouldn't go
Never
away.
healed. That's a good one. Here's maybe the best one that I don't know how this one slipped my brain. Isaac Copeland.
Oh.
That's a guy whose value, I think, outpaced his stats. Put up numbers, was a good player, but what his versatility allowed that Nebraska team to do, unmatched. Cope's a great one.
He was such a great say. He was probably, actually, I don't know where I was going to go with that, but he was so much better in the fact that he allowed a guy who we still don't know if he realized how good he was when playing at Nebraska and Isaiah Roby to not have to play the 5 and not have to guard guys much bigger than him, because Copeland, although he wasn't the biggest guy, he still had a lot of size.
Yeah.
He was thick. He was strong. He was able to bang bodies with those Big Ten bigs inside and allow Roby to just be a free-flowing athlete like he was. And that's what made that Nebraska team so dangerous.
Absolutely. 3 more before we get to break and play the shootout. The one I'm less sold on is Adrian Martinez, because the more we learn about everything else going on, I don't think it was that injury that held Adrian back.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely played a part in that season and in that Colorado game. But in terms of his career and what he could have been, I don't think it was the injury.
I still want to believe that if they play that Akron game, they win. That's Adrian Martinez's coming out party. He goes off against Colorado. They still get boat raced by Michigan, but they have a pretty good season.
There's a universe out there that happens in.
I want to live in that universe.
What about DeMornay Pearsonell?
Oh,
DPE, talk about problem.
Oh, don't punt to him. Don't kick to him. He will take it to the house. Gets hurt, freak injury.
Multiple times.
Purdue's damn field, celebrating somebody else's touchdown. Jumps in the air, comes down wrong, messes up his knee. Never the same after that.
No.
I blame Purdue's field for many an injury.
It's the worst.
It's terrible.
Ross-Ade Stadium needs to be raised and then built.
Salt the soil.
Else. Yes, absolutely do that. He's one that came to mind. The other one, Lauren Stivrins. If she never has that back injury, that 2020 team or even that 2021 team, if they have full seasons of Lauren Stivrins.
Oh, that 2020 team wins.
Oh, yeah.
They win.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Not even a question. They win. The 2021 team, hit or miss. She did come back. She still probably wasn't 100%, but she was playing at a pretty high clip. They had to take her out more than usual just because of the back injury. But I don't know if they win it all then, even with a healthy Lauren Stivrins. But that 2020 team definitely wins. Just crazy. Just again, another freak thing that just wouldn't go away for a while. Now she's playing in she was playing in the Athletes Unlimited, but she tore her ACL.
Oh no,
last year. Before it started, so I don't know if she's back in it, but she was playing for them, and was still a problem.
Yes, I think Maddie Kubik just got drafted in that league.
She
too.
did. She did. She was playing in Puerto Rico, but now she's going to be playing with Athletes Unlimited. Back in the
Stateside.
mainland.
There you go. Not in the 51st state anymore.
Technically not a state still, so back in the States.
Are you backing Puerto Rican statehood?
No.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
There are reasons. It's fine.
We got to step aside. On the other side, we're playing the shootout. We're going to give this one a little bit more in Rico's wheelhouse. Husker baseball and softball leaders. That's the category for today.
I can get you with one of them, maybe.
I know. That's why we're doing. I'm trying to give you a shot.
All right,
tomorrow I won't be quite as generous.
I don't need your help.
That's the spirit. Call now 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Do you know your Husker baseball and softball? If so, try to take down Rico next.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A mix of sun and clouds, breezy and cooler. We'll see northeast winds at around 15 to 20 and an afternoon high of around 46. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Low dropping down to 32. Much warmer but windy tomorrow. South winds could gust near 40 with an afternoon high of 72. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
That's right. We're playing the Shootout with the second best shooter to come out of Bellevue West High School.
Heck yeah. Take that, Chucky Hepburn.
Yeah. No doubt in my mind that you would beat anyone not named Eric Strickland in a shooting competition.
Easily. Any of the anybody else at Bellevue West that ever played basketball, I beat him in a shootout.
Sorry, Josiah Doetzler. Give Rico your scholarship.
Any of the Doetzlers. Take that.
Any one of them.
My man Malik Kalucheweki. Sorry about it, bro. That's my boy. That's my adopted son. Went to Bowling Green and then where did he go? Emporia State. That's where he went.
Oh. Very
Shout
nice.
out to him. He plays for the Team USA 3v3 team.
No way.
Yeah, he does.
Huh.
Great guy. Great kid.
That's incredible. We go now to the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and I believe we have Chris on the line. Chris, are you ready to take on Rico in the shootout?
I am ready.
Excellent. Hold on the line for me, if you would. We'll give Rico his questions first, and then we'll get to you. Rico,
all right,
in the hot seat. Your round of the shootout begins in 3, 2, and 1. He leads Husker baseball in batting average. Max Anderson or Cole Evans?
Max Anderson.
Yep, he has the lowest ERA of any Husker baseball starting pitcher. Emmett Olson or Jace Kaminska?
Kaminska.
Yep, she leads Husker softball in doubles. Caitlin Neal or Maya Felder?
Neal.
Yep, she leads Husker softball in stolen bases. Ava Bredwell or Courtney Wallace?
Bredwell.
It is. And he leads Husker baseball in hit by pitches as a batter.
Hit by pitches as a batter. I'm going to go Bryce.
Solid guess. Thankfully, no.
Dang it.
Casey Burnham.
Dang it.
Is the answer. The Kansas transfer.
So
has been
close.
hit by 10 pitches this season.
Ouch.
Already.
You good, guy? You think he's good? He got a big bruise.
Probably
all over.
Yeah. It's weirder if you can see his actual skin color as opposed to you can see a bruise.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pitches to get it by.
That's
All
impressive.
right. A 4-point round.
So close.
Not bad, Rico. Chris, you need 4 to tie. You need 5 to win. Are you ready for your round of the shootout?
Well, I thought I was ready.
Well, ready or not, here we go with your round of the shootout in 3, 2, and 1. He leads Husker baseball in home runs as a hitter. Bryce Matthews or Gabe Swanson?
Matthews.
Yep, he has the most relief appearances of any Husker baseball pitcher. Kyle Perry or Shea Shanneman?
Shanneman.
Yep, she leads Husker softball in walks drawn. Ava Bredwell or Sydney Gray?
Gray.
It's Bredwell. She leads Husker softball regulars in fielding percentage. Maya Felder or Abby Squire?
Squire.
It's Felder. He leads Husker baseball pitchers in strikeouts.
8, 7, 6. Shanahan.
It is Emmett Olson. Yeah! Shanneman is second on the team. Olson has 40 as a starter. Shanneman has 30 out of the bullpen. Chris, a valiant effort. You fall just 2 points short. Ooh. Thanks for playing. Your chance to win the $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings is not over. Hang up now and caller number 3 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Gets the $15 by the skin of your teeth, Rico.
Victory.
You survived.
You got the second place guy. Ooh, I made it. Baby, I made it.
All right, you do like the tiebreakers.
I do. I love the tiebreakers. Hit me.
How many combined home runs have Husker baseball and softball hit?
Ooh, okay. Let's go with, I feel like softball has more. I'm going to go with 26.
Combined between the two.
Oh.
In 50 games.
Okay. 38. That still seems low.
79.
79? My goodness.
Husker baseball's hit 40. Husker softball's hit 39.
I don't know why I said so low. Why did I say it so low? Whatever.
They're about 40% of the way into their season.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Softball's been hitting some tanks lately.
Softball has.
And Bryce hit a massive one yesterday against North Dakota State.
Massive in terms of distance and massive in terms of implications.
Didn't he hit the roof of the bathrooms out there once? Or was that somebody else? It was somebody hit the roofs out. It was hilarious.
We're going to talk to Evan Bland about Husker baseball at the bottom of the next hour. And Bryce Matthews, honestly, is renaissance. What's changed for Bryce Matthews is something I want to pick Evan's brain
He's
about.
the best baseball player I've ever seen.
Yeah. Give him the Golden Spikes Award now.
Best baseball player in the world.
Anyway, stay tuned for that conversation coming up in about half an hour. And we will also talk some Lamar Jackson. Who's to blame for that situation going the way it has? We'll step aside hour 2 on the block after this.
Dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union, how great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit Union.
Learn more about being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Member NCUA.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right in Westo and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our Peace of Mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on Westo Street at Price Right Auto.
This Easter, focus on your family instead of dishes with the Venue Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in-house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8 and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides, and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Guys, when I first started with Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Barrel's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Creighton would have. That's the best part. They would have beat FAU. They would have been in the national title, but they're not. That's too bad. You guys can wallow for them, and I'll just celebrate over here and say it's a great day to be in Nebraska.
I'm just amazed by that tape. I'm amazed by that.
You can be amazed all you want. It ain't changing.
I like
Nothing you say is going to change my stance on this game.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Here we go. Hour 2 on a Wednesday, halfway through our work week. Rico's a little closer to halfway done.
Yeah, I'm about 3/4 of the way done.
There you go.
Got one more hour.
We can do it.
Well, actually, I got an hour, and then however much time it takes me to do the rest of the stuff that I have to do.
So maybe we're about the same.
Yeah, probably, actually.
That's okay. Big thanks to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul for sponsoring On the Block, as they do every day from 2 to 4 right here on at 93.7 The Ticket. Plenty of ways you can listen to the show, radio, our website, theticketfm.com, any 4 of our live streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
I got to get back out there.
Please do.
It's so good.
We'll make it a company outing at some point.
We really should. We really should.
Or Charles, you know where to find us.
Matt,
you know where to find us.
Hey, Charles.
You gonna drop that?
I don't know if you're watching. You're probably not, because you're probably busy right now. But I would enjoy some food.
But we're here.
I'll make my way out there.
Yeah. Charles is busy enough, which is a good thing. We like it when Charles is busy.
Oh, yeah.
We are busy this hour as well. We'll talk some NFL before we get some Husker football spring headlines and Husker baseball headlines with Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. You want to do jersey numbers or Lamar first, Rico?
Let's do jersey numbers, because you seemed excited about the jersey numbers.
NFL players are now allowed to wear number 0.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Nice.
That resolution passed, I believe, just yesterday. The only players not allowed to wear number 0 are offensive and defensive linemen.
That's boring. Why can't a defensive lineman wear 0?
I don't know, but those are the only 2 groups not allowed to wear 0.
I would love to see a defensive tackle with a big belly wearing 0.
Vita Vea.
Yes.
That's the one. That's the name I've seen thrown out there that needs to wear number 0.
Yes. Oh my God. 00. Please and thank you.
They're only allowing single.
That's dumb. That's dumb. If you're gonna allow single 0, you gotta allow 00. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
I like single 0 for wide receivers because it's like a perfect target. Even if it's a block, you just give your quarterback a perfect target. Like,
right
hey, just
there.
hit me
right
here.
there. Yeah.
Like, we say, oh, you hit him in the numbers. Got to hit him in the numbers, that sort of thing. The 0 is the perfect number for the target.
It really is. It really
Wide
is.
receivers have to wear it.
It's and it could be, you get a wide receiver that's cocky enough, how many people can guard me, how many people can stop me, kind of like those basketball players. 0. There you go. That's
Micah
like
Parsons was on Twitter saying Agent 0 loading, and number 1, that's a little disrespectful to Gilbert Arenas, the original Agent 0.
Despite all of his off the court antics, Gilbert Arenas, yes,
he was cold.
Yes, that is the real Agent 0.
Micah Parsons gets away with it too because he's an outside linebacker. Not listed as a defensive lineman.
That counts. Does he really want to go away from 11?
He said on Twitter, Agent 0 loading.
Do you know how much they have to pay to change their numbers?
A lot.
Because they have to
More
buy
than they should.
They have to buy all the remaining jerseys. So yeah, that's a decent chunk of change. I'd wait for my second contract to change my number.
Right. Or maybe you make if you're like, because Nike does the jerseys, right? If you're a Nike athlete, you say, hey, part of my deal. You don't have to pay me, but let me switch my number without having to buy out the jerseys.
Just once.
Yeah.
Just one time. And then you sell the jerseys for a discounted price. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, I got,
It's
an
throwback. It's vintage.
Yeah, I got an old school Micah Parsons jersey. Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
Okay, so Calvin Ridley, the first player announced to wear number 0. In the picture that the Jags posted with Calvin Ridley welcoming him in, he was wearing jersey number 0 before it passed, but his arms were crossed in front of it.
Oh,
so you
was
couldn't
he?
actually see. So some people were saying they think the Jaguars did that post and that picture on purpose because if this rule wasn't passed, he would have switched to wearing 8 or 3.
I was going to say, are we sure it's a 0?
Yes, because he announced he's wearing 0.
Yeah, I know, but it looks like an 8. It could have been an 8. I'm looking at the picture right now. It could have been an 8.
I do also think.
Do you think they made it before? Okay, they obviously knew that this was going to happen because it's pretty clearly a 0.
Yes,
but
in case it didn't, that's a good job of the Jags for covering their bases and making him cross his arms in front.
It's a great job.
I do think
Except right where his left arm crosses, if it were an 8 or a 3, you would see a small little divot in because that's how the numbers. That's how they do. There's a little cross that goes in, and it ain't there. So it was definitely 0.
They're really confident.
It was. They're like, it's gonna pass. This is gonna happen.
It's a little ironic that he's wearing number 0, given that's the number of games he played last year. But back on the field now.
The amount of common sense he had.
Right. Paris Campbell, now of the New York Giants, also wearing number 0. Ironic because he played approximately 0 snaps and had 0 catches his first few years in Indianapolis.
Good job,
That's
Paris.
a guy I was sold on.
You should have been.
Good guy for the Colts.
You should have been.
Injuries, man.
They suck.
They do. Other guys that I think should have been allowed to wear number 0 in their NFL careers. I got a few names to throw out there for you. Number 1, Dan Marino.
For 0 the amount of Super Bowls?
Yep.
I'm glad we have the
same read my
ideas.
mind there. The other 2 that I think are the best, even better than that one, Josh Gordon and Antonio Brown. 0 days since last incident.
You are terrible.
I am.
You are the worst.
But am I wrong?
But damn it, you're not wrong. Damn it. Okay, you got me there. Okay, you got any more?
Those came to mind. I did kind of like your idea of number of guys that can stop me or guard me with Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I can see him being there's no one like me, so that's why he wears number 0.
Yeah. He was perfect at 7 though.
Yeah, 7 is a great Michael Vick number, but I'm just saying I could have seen 0 for him. Trying to think of others.
You think Aaron Rodgers will switch to 0?
0 number of family members he has left.
Exactly. Yeah.
0 the number of rays of light he saw in Oregon for 4 days.
There you go.
Trying to think. 0 number of playoff games he'll win as a member of the Jets.
Give us your best current players that should wear number 0 and give us the best joke that you have that goes along with it. Because these are great. I love all of these. These are fantastic.
Mass Texter says the entire Bills team wearing 0. Yeah.
0 Super Bowls.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, I don't know.
Dang, Justin, that's harsh.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there.
No, how dare you? I mean, honestly, anybody on the Cowboys who's ain't gonna win no rings. So it'd be 0
Right.
rings.
Dak Prescott 0. The amount of faith Jerry Jones has in him.
Yes. Jimmy Garoppolo 0.
Kirk Cousins 0 number of Monday Night Football wins.
0 primetime W's for Kirk
0,
Cousins.
not a 1.
Who else? Oh, Kyler Murray 0. The amount of days between video game sessions.
0. His favorite button to press on his PlayStation controller.
Hitting that 0. Hit that circle button.
More circle.
Hit that circle button, baby.
I also thought like Joe Burrow 0. Do something cool with that.
Burrow.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. You know what? He should. He has to now. That's definitely a Joe Burrow thing.
You would think.
But it would just say Burr.
Yeah.
So it'd be Burr. Yes. And then the 0.
0.
Burr. Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Ooh, okay.
That's
okay.
Perfect.
There we go. He has to, right? That's a he did the Burrow with the EAUX.
Yeah.
Like he that's something that Burrow would definitely do. With a cigar in his mouth, just running out on the field.
That would be.
It would be cold. Burr.
Cold, yes.
With the icy whites.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
You see what we're doing?
Somebody.
See what we're doing here.
I need Bill Bush. I need Bill Bush. I know he still talks to Joe Burrow. I need him now immediately. We need to talk about this.
Coach Bush.
We need to pass this along, and it needs to happen immediately, expeditiously.
Another guy that might wear 0, Lamar Jackson, the number of teams that appeared to be interested in signing him.
Great transition. Don't know why that's happening to him.
Okay, so that's where I want to go with this. Why Lamar Jackson isn't signed is because he's asking for a lot of guaranteed money. But the question isn't why isn't he signed? The question is who's to blame. And I think this is a question that has a lot of different answers. I don't know how much I weigh the blame for all these parties, so let's kind of tease that out.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is somewhat to blame. Not a lot, but a little. He doesn't have an agent. He's representing himself. Really good player. I bet he's signed by now if he has an agent.
Yeah, that is very risky. The amount of players that have been doing that lately that have actually had success is actually kind of impressive, just because they don't have the prerequisite knowledge to work out a contract, although some of them have been doing dealings with contracts for a little bit, so they have somewhat of the knowledge, but not the same amount of knowledge that an agent who was paid to do this would have. I understand not wanting to have to pay your agent however much money from your contracts. I get that part of it, but at the same time, especially for Lamar Jackson, like, you should be making you are definitely deserving of a ton of money. So having an agent and having to pay that agent however much from that contract, although it would be a decent chunk of change, you're still going to get a ton of that money. And right now you're doing yourself a disservice by representing yourself. But then again, I don't know how good he is or how these meetings are going, but I feel as if he's doing a disservice to himself in not having an agent to help represent him, because he's also trying to stay working out, to stay in shape, to be ready for when a team decides to make a trade or offer him this amount of money that the Ravens won't match or the Ravens do match and bring him back. However that goes, he's trying to stay in shape to do that. So on top of that, he's going to these meetings to try and get himself a contract. Like, it's so much that it'd be so much easier if he just hired somebody to take care of that for him.
I don't want to approach this as Lamar Jackson is dumb. He doesn't know what he's doing. I want to approach this as this is an agent's job to do this for him, where the agent should be 100% clear. Even if Lamar says something like on the phone, you record it and the agent takes it there. The agent is there to either, soften the blow if the player comes across a little harsh, a little hard, a little bit if they still have some chance of returning to the team, think it's their best deal. It's on the agent to make whatever message it is sound as good as possible. Not saying Lamar Jackson, isn't a good talker, doesn't know what he's doing, but the agent is there. That's their job. They're in contact with the player. They're in contact with the team. Yes, there's a middleman, but it's the agent's job to be the middleman, to get the team's message across to the player, but also to fight for the player. There's just so much on Lamar Jackson's plate, so much money on the table. Having an agent there to help him get what, again, you and I both agree he deserves, I think would go a long way. I also think this situation is somewhat on Baltimore. If you get a good player, pay to keep him around.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Lamar Jackson proved he's better than Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley should not have been a Pro Bowler last year. Congratulations. Enjoy your trip.
How did that even... How?
I don't know. But Lamar Jackson has proven he is Baltimore's best quarterback option.
Yeah.
I get it. There's a salary cap. I get it. Baltimore has some other good young players. Not one of them are on Lamar Jackson's level.
I understand the risk involved in re-signing Lamar because of the game that he plays, because of the risk he takes by running as much as he does and being, as some people would say, a running back that can also throw. I don't agree to that, but whatever. Just being as athletic he is and using his legs as much as he does, I understand the risk that you are taking by signing him to a long-term deal worth that amount of money. Because if he does get hurt and he can't play, you're just out of that money for the amount of time that he's still signed to your team. And that's a risk that some teams aren't willing to take, and apparently Baltimore's not willing to take. But again, he's shown you with an MVP season, taking his team to the playoffs, winning a playoff game in his rookie year after being a starter only halfway through the season. He's proved that he is more than capable of leading a team to the playoffs. And I don't know about making a deep run, but at least getting there and winning at least one game, which some players can't even do, a la Justin Herbert, who is probably going to get paid a disgusting amount of money just based off potential alone. Because again, he hasn't done anything in the NFL, but Lamar Jackson somehow can't get paid and can't get a contract. Now you can go and look at Patrick Mahomes' deal and say that this handicapped a lot of the quarterbacks in the league where, usually how it goes, how one quarterback gets a deal, then the next quarterback gets a better deal, next quarterback gets a better deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody got a better deal than Patrick Mahomes did with his 10-year, $500 million contract. But some of these quarterbacks are getting 4 or 5 years and a crap ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens don't want to take that chance on Lamar Jackson. And I believe that, with all of the other contract mumbo jumbo that's in there, because it's not just about money.
No,
there's no trade clauses. There's I can't even pretend to know bonuses. There all kinds of things in their incentives that somebody else could take care of for Lamar while he focuses on just playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he doesn't want to hire an agent, so that's partially on him. But again, Baltimore, you've got the dude, you've got your franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
It's better to have good players than to not have good players, is really what it boils down to. And that's where I think as fans, sometimes we get lost in the discussion of caps and we act like GMs and like team owners. And I think we've bought that line for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's understandable. That's a lot of the conversation that's out there because there's a lot of writing about it. There's a lot of talking about it. And I get it. But as fans, shouldn't we want good players on our teams?
Yes. Yeah.
Shouldn't we want good players on our teams?
It seems simple. Who's the guy whose jersey you want? Usually the quarterback. And this is, look, no offense to Tyler Huntley, but how many Baltimore fans are rushing out to get Tyler Huntley jerseys? This is not happening.
No.
Who are you going to get right now on the quarterback market that is better than Lamar Jackson?
Okay, I'm glad you went there because this is where I say the rest of the NFL is also to blame for Lamar Jackson not being signed yet. My Colts, Jim Irsay, says he doesn't like guaranteed contracts, which as an owner, okay, I understand that.
I hate Jim Irsay.
Jim Irsay has played his way out of my favor recently. I understand why owners wouldn't want guaranteed contracts, but you're playing the most physical game that makes the most money. And there are some guarantees in NFL contracts, just not fully guaranteed. So again, I understand from the owner's perspective why, but that shouldn't be as big a hang-up for them as it is for someone as talented as Lamar Jackson. If a 35-year-old wants a new max contract fully guaranteed, okay, be hesitant to hand that out.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is just entering his prime with an MVP under his belt.
You're not going to fully guarantee Tom Brady a contract.
Right. Ron Rivera said the Commanders haven't looked into Lamar Jackson because Sam Howell has, and I quote, Brock Purdy upside. The Commanders are not looking into Lamar Jackson because they think they have Brock Purdy. What are we doing?
Brock Purdy is the new standard for NFL quarterbacks. You didn't know?
What are we doing?
Brock Purdy upside is not great upside, sir. I love Ron Rivera. Don't get it twisted.
Riverboat Ron's fun.
Love Ron Rivera. Great coach. I would love for Ron Rivera to take over the Patriots after Bill Belichick is done. Because nobody else in that coaching tree has any salt.
Gerard Mayo.
Maybe Gerard Mayo. I would love that. I loved him as a player for the Patriots. But Riverboat Ron, what are you saying? Is Brock Purdy the standard for quarterbacks now? Is that where we're going? Is that the standard that we're sitting? We're like, look, I think we might have the next Brock Purdy. Really? That's what we're doing. You have the next Brock Purdy. Congratulations.
You won the lottery.
Guess what?
Hit a long shot for 6 games.
Lamar Jackson's right there. Guess what? Lamar
40
Jackson.
miles away.
Guess what Lamar Jackson's done that Brock Purdy hasn't done? Win an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And people would say, "Oh, well, Brock Purdy might have been able to take his team to." He didn't. Okay, he didn't. He didn't.
No.
Lamar Jackson won some games in the playoffs. Brock Purdy won some games in the playoffs. Congratulations.
Well, and that's the other argument too.
But look at my thing. Look at what Brock Purdy has to work with, and look at what Lamar Jackson has had to work with in Baltimore. Because his best receiver for the longest time was a 5'10" receiver who couldn't catch in Hollywood Brown. They shipped him off to Arizona. The dude had speed for days, and every once in a while would catch a touchdown. But, and look, no shade to Hollywood Brown. I love Hollywood Brown.
Also, don't discredit Mark Andrews.
Great receiver. Mark Andrews, fantastic. Mark Andrews, not George Kittle, though.
No.
Great receiver in Hollywood Brown, but he's not Deebo Samuel. He's not Brandon Ayuk. I would take both of those over Hollywood Brown. That is the best receiver that he has had to work with in Baltimore. I know you could say the Minnesota Rashad Bateman, but he was injured his entire rookie season. And yes, Mark Andrews. He had Mark Andrews. That's fantastic. That's one guy, and they focused on him a lot. That's not what Brock Purdy had. Brock Purdy had George Kittle, who, again, better than Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a great tight end. He's probably top 5 tight end, but he's not top 2. which is George Kittle. So if you look at that, you can make those comparisons. Still won an MVP. The amount of yardage and danger that he can get you out of with his legs, the amount of danger he can put on a defense with his legs, that just trumps everything Brock Purdy can do, in my mind. I'm sorry, but and anybody that says, oh, Lamar Jackson can't, shut up. Lamar Jackson can throw, all right?
Yes.
He's a Heisman winner and an MVP. He can throw as a quarterback.
And here's the thing. He would probably look better as a passer if he had more consistent receiving options. If he had a scheme that was better designed for throwing the ball. Greg Roman did a great job scheming around Lamar Jackson's legs, but either he saw something or didn't see something in Lamar Jackson's arm that caused him to have the scheme he did throwing the ball, or he kind of Pete Carrolled it, where he tried to, protect Russell Wilson on the offensive end when maybe that was the right move for a couple of years. There are a couple of years in there, though, Russ should have been let free. Give Lamar Jackson a more diverse scheme and better, pass catchers. I'm sure he can throw the ball to him just fine.
And Igor says on the text line, Burrow and Mahomes are both better than Lamar. Yes.
But
that I'm not arguing that. That
correct.
is true. By far, this fully guaranteed contract is a joke, and sure, he won MVP, but the next year, teams shut Lamar down, and he couldn't do anything. I disagree with that. I don't think that they shut him down. He was dealing with injuries.
Okay, but here's the thing. Someone else on the text line says the problem with Lamar is he doesn't play half the games due to injury. That's not true. He played in 16 games, 7 starts as a rookie. Played in 15 games in 2019, 15 games in 2020. He's been hurt the last 2 years, still played in 12 games. So, yes, he's not 100% available, but let's not pretend like he's a huge injury risk.
Joe Burrow missed his entire first year.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes has missed at least 2 games each year and is now going to have to deal with a high ankle sprain that's never going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say that he's injured all the time because he runs all the time. He is injured a decent amount of the time, but guess what? He still plays. And he deserves, this is the thing, he deserves this money. He has done enough for Baltimore in the NFL to deserve to be paid this amount of money. And like I said, somebody said Justin Herbert hasn't done anything in the NFL. Hot take. I don't think it's that hot of a take. What has he done except for put up numbers in the regular season? He hasn't had that great of records in the regular season, and he still hasn't won a playoff game. He's, 3 years in? No playoff games? He's made the playoff twice? No playoff victories.
Well, and should have beat the Jags.
Should have.
Or couldn't close it. And that's not all on him. The defense played its part, too. 2 other things before we do want to step aside and get to Evan Bland. Brad says receivers cost money. On the one hand, yes, they do. On the other hand, draft one in the first round. Draft one in the second or third round. Those guys can step in, be ready to play. We've seen that time and time again. So, yes, when they get good, they cost money, but you can cycle through young receivers cheap. Anonymous texter says, I think Ron is focusing on rookie deals, using the money to fill playmakers around Howell, and that's better than spending the price tag on Lamar. I understand that argument, but imagine if you put Lamar Jackson with the skill guys you have now. Imagine that.
That'd be nice.
Imagine if you're the Colts, and instead of playing quarterback roulette, you lock up that position. It might not be 100% fully guaranteed, but if you can guarantee him enough money and say, hey, look at the guys we have around you, I'm sure Lamar would do like a 75% guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
And spread some of that around because he wants to win too.
That's the thing, is you can make his contract incentive laden.
Yes.
But I don't know what's going on with this contract. Maybe it is on him for not having an agent, and he doesn't know exactly how to maneuver in these meetings to get these contracts settled and closed down. But make it incentive laden. Say, hey, look, we make the playoffs, you get this much more. We make it to the conference championship game, you get this much. We make it to the Super Bowl, we win the Super Bowl, you get this much more. It'd be I don't know if it'd be super easy. Again, I'm not an agent, I don't know all that, but I feel like it'd be a lot simpler to do that and then build around Lamar Jackson, because you've got your Sam Howell, but who's to say he even reaches that Brock Purdy level?
Ceiling.
Then guess what? You have all those weapons and no quarterback. Then what are you going to do? Who's going to get him the ball?
And
Nobody.
And Ron Rivera's not Kyle Shanahan.
No.
He's not. All right, we got to talk to Evan Bland. We get to talk to Evan Bland. We'll step aside, chat Husker baseball and spring football with him next.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Creighton would have. That's the best part. They would have beat FAU. They would have been in the national title, but they're not. That's too bad. You guys can wallow for them, and I'll just celebrate over here and say it's a great day to be in Nebraska.
I'm just amazed by that tape. I'm amazed by that.
You can be amazed all you want. It ain't changed. I like nothing you say is going to change my stance on this game.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
The captain for Sean Jackson.
Everybody is jockeying for position. If I was the head coach, everybody's position would be up for grab because I want competition across the board. Earn it on the football field. That's the feel that I got from Coach Rule, is that he's an earn it guy. He ain't going to give you anything.
To snatch that position, you got to go out there and solidify it that first week, and then you got to keep coming. You got to keep getting better every day. You got to make your teammates better. You just got to understand your role.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the block. We head now to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. We welcome in the Omaha World Herald's Evan Bland covering Husker football and baseball right now. Evan, let's start with Husker baseball. Successful home weekend. You win 2 out of 3 from Illinois, and then you get the midweek game against North Dakota State. Let's start with that Friday game. What was the scene like with the 3 jersey retirements, the wall unveiling, and getting that series off to a good start Friday night?
Yeah, it was really cool. It felt like a throwback sort of night. It felt like a Big 12 kind of night, to be honest with you, where like, Texas was coming in or something like that. Like the people were charged. The sort of the magic of those 2000s teams was in the house, and it was fun to even before the unveiling, catching up with a couple of those guys who were gracious enough to chat. I mean, Alex Gordon has the same demeanor as he has had. Darren Erstad, as we know, he's the same competitive guy, except now he's doing it as kind of, as he said, as a children's Uber driver, going to coach his son's hockey teams and things like that. And, Shane Comine has been back recently a couple of times. And so, it was cool just to see all those guys in the park. And, it even carried over into the game, right? Like, Will Bolt gave those guys a chance to say something to the current team before the first pitch. And, Alex Gordon, 39-year-old Alex Gordon, kind of jumped in there, and it felt like it was a 2005 Super Regional all over again, where he gets those guys fired up. And then you add to that the football recruits that were in the house to see things. And then they start fast and end up winning that game against Illinois. Just a really fun night. It felt like, that could be maybe the high point this year, just in terms of buzz and atmosphere. And so I thought it was worthy of the Husker legends that were in the house.
The Huskers win then on Saturday, but they lose again on Sunday. So far this season, Nebraska's won only once on Sunday. They did that against South Alabama, second weekend of the year. What is it about Sundays? Is it still just the lack of a third starter? Is it just everyone's off that day? What is it about Sundays so far with this Husker baseball team?
Yeah, I mean, Sundays is one way to frame it. I think the other way that's probably a little bit more accurate too is, what do they look like when Emmett Olson and Jace Kaminska are not on the mound? I mean, those guys have been their co-aces, and you look at last weekend and what they did. I mean, Emmett Olson goes 7, strikes out double figures, and he does it while he's thrown up between innings, and he finds a way. Jace Kaminska on Saturday couldn't command anything. I mean, his fastball, everything else was all over, sprayed it, as he said, time and again, and he still finds a way to give Nebraska a quality start in a game that they win. And so you kind of zoom out a little bit. Nebraska, when either of those two guys are starting this year, Nebraska's won 10 out of 12 games. When anybody else starts those games for Nebraska, they're, I believe, 4-6-1 at this point. So they're a sub 500 team. And so, obviously that speaks to the talent that Nebraska has in Olson and Kaminska, but it also, I think, speaks to the lack of depth and how they've just continued to search for those reliable arms outside of those two. And there have been certainly positive moments. I mean, Shea Shanneman, I think, has settled in as the closer. Jake Buns, he might finally be rounded back into form coming off of the injury from last year. Jalen Worthley's has his moments, but like they just haven't been able to find a lot of consistency. Like, you don't know from start to start what you'll get maybe from Michael Garza or Jackson Brockett. And so they're just kind of cycling through it. And Will Walsh would be the notable story from Tuesday night. They beat North Dakota State. He goes 7, strikes out 11. Like, he may very well have earned himself that Sunday starting spot a week from this weekend, because they don't play a Sunday game this weekend. He very well could be that guy. And again, when you think of all the other pitchers that Nebraska's given a chance to before Will Walsh has sort of asserted himself, it's pretty remarkable that they just haven't found that person yet. Now, it's not too late. You're only about 40% of the way through the regular season. There are still roles to kind of figure out and big moments that are ready to be captured. But you just have to wonder, if you're Nebraska, you get into a series, or if things go well enough, you get into a regional. How do you line up your pitching, beyond your two starters? I think that's something they're still working through.
You mentioned Will Walsh, the story last night. What is it that makes him so successful? It's made him so successful these last couple outings. That's a name that, you kind of heard just on the periphery of the conversation, but he's really kicked that door down with, 7 strong innings last night. What is it about Will Walsh that makes him so good these last couple appearances?
Well, I mean, he's in some ways come out of nowhere to, I think, the casual fan, right? Like before that Creighton game a week ago, when he sat down 15 straight Blue Jays. Like, he had 2 career innings to his name, and he was a guy who redshirted his first year, and he battled a number of injuries early in his career. So you just didn't see him on the field as a hitter or as a pitcher. But last summer he goes into, I believe it was the Mink League, and just really dominated as a two-way player on the mound, at the plate. And Nebraska, I think, still, even probably up till about a week ago, viewed him a little bit more as a position player than as a pitcher. But man, he's really forced the issue with that. I mean, his command has been good. Coaches really emphasize the tilt on fastballs and some of your breaking pitches. And when you see that working, that usually leads into a lot of soft contact and slow grounders and things like that. And I think that's what Will Walsh has produced when his pitches have actually connected with bats, right? He's also missed a lot of them for strikeouts. So this is a guy who at least showed it last summer. He's healthy. He has some confidence, and now he's got 2 outings in a row where he's really impressed, again, against Creighton and now North Dakota State. And it sets up a really interesting scenario where this weekend, because of sort of scheduling quirks, Nebraska just plays a Saturday doubleheader down in Abilene, Texas. If Nebraska so desires, it sets up really well for Walsh to maybe be that Sunday guy for the Michigan series at Michigan next week. So we'll see kind of how that turns out. But certainly Will Walsh has done enough to get everybody's attention.
Speaking of getting everybody's attention, the other story from last night, and one of the stories so far, at least for me, for Nebraska baseball, has been the reemergence of Bryce Matthews. A lot put on his shoulders last season, a little bit down. He's responded. 3 strikeouts to start last night's game, but then the deciding home run absolutely crushed to left center field. What's been different for Bryce Matthews this year than when he scuffled a bit last season?
Yeah, I think part of it is the same sort of story that Max Anderson has had. And Will Bolt's talked about this a lot, where you think back to 2021 and the great freshman years that Anderson and Matthews both had, they weren't asked to do a whole lot, right? Like, they were sort of complementary pieces to some of the more established guys in that lineup. And then you look at last year and the steps back that both of those players took. I think they would tell you, and the coaches would tell you, a lot of that was because there was just too much pressure put on those players to take too big of a step forward and maybe be more than what they are as players. And so in some ways, I think their production is sort of a byproduct of the depth of this lineup. And Max said this last week when I was talking with him, just this idea that, a year ago, if he struck out in a big spot, man, that would stay with him. And he felt like he really let the team down. Well, now, if you feel good about the guy behind you and the guy behind that, to pick you up and to continue things, even if the result that you get isn't what you're looking for, I mean, that just allows you to play looser and freer. And so I think you're seeing that from Bryce too, where, he's a guy who takes his craft seriously and even defensively. Like in the summer, there was real talk that he might have to move to the outfield because they couldn't maybe necessarily trust him as the shortstop to field at a high enough level. And what does he do? He goes out, he recommits himself just to playing defense too. And he's been a really dynamic defender as well. So, credit I think the individual certainly for the work he's put in and the improvement he's made, but also the team construction around him, I think, has really helped allow him to thrive.
Talking Husker baseball with Evan Bland, switching gears to football now. Evan, you've got a chance to watch a little bit of practice. I know you can't see a whole lot given the amount of time they limit you to. They're not doing a whole lot. But as you watch, has there been anything that's stood out to you from what you've been able to see and hear?
Well, I think it's really fast-paced. There was always talk in previous years about how frenetic practice was designed to be. I feel like we've seen that more this year, certainly than I've seen maybe under the last couple of staffs, where, I mean, you're going from station to station and there's not much time in between. Guys are jogging from one stop to another. I think it really puts on display Nebraska's the size of their off-field staff and personnel too. I mean, I'm not just talking about assistant coaches, but just support staffers that are around and that are talking to visitors. You've got, there was a moment on Tuesday where I think it was a couple student managers were moving the jugs machine, that shoots out the football for receivers to catch. They were moving it from one station to another, and they were moving fast, and the coaches were on them to move it fast. And, they were, the two guys were kind of chirping at each other, like, hurry up, let's get this thing set up so they can get going. There's really, I think, just this sense of every moment counts. Every moment is sort of a chance to be competitive and show what you can do. So I think that's probably what stood out to me is there's very little, if any, standing around. The drills that we get to see at least are engaging. I mean, the coaches are always talking, always offering pointers or encouragement or, rebukes if necessary. So it just felt to me like it was packed. Like there were very few sort of lulls. The music's a little bit quieter. The dialogue's a little bit higher, I think, during those drills now. So, again, who knows how that translates into the fall or what that means for Nebraska moving forward. But I think it's just a sign that there is sort of a different vibe behind the scenes in terms of how these guys go about their daily work.
We saw a picture online of Matt Rule stopping practice when it wasn't up to his standards, trying to rally the troops, get them all together. How do you think the players are responding to moves like that, or the video of Brian Applewhite coaching the running backs, getting on A.J. Allen? Does it seem like the team is responding pretty well to kind of that change in standard and that accountability that the coaches are expecting?
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to that sort of stuff, like I think that's pretty common routine stuff in practice. I mean, you're going to be challenged, you're going to be pushed. The thing I think that this staff has emphasized is, you want to build those relationships with guys before you have those moments, right? Like you don't in the first week of getting to know these guys, maybe you haven't earned the right to challenge them or to set them down and say this isn't up to our standards. So I think the fact that they've been able to do that and that there's been response from the players is just another sign that this staff, has invested relationally in these guys. We hear Matt Rule say it all the time that these aren't just football players; they're young men who happen to play football, and it's all culture talk, right? Like that's kind of what we're talking about. It's about being competitive all the time, and so I think if you can tap into that and say, you guys are losing this practice right now, that resonates in a way. I just think it resonates deeply with this generation that they want to go out and prove that they're, better than their teammates or better than whatever. So, again, I think just the fact that they're already to this point of being comfortable to do that says how much closer this staff and then the inherited players have come in the first few months.
Speaking of, getting to know guys fitting in, Jeff Sims spoke to the media at practice. The cold stood out to him, said he hadn't played in anything lower than 47 degrees, but they're out there throwing with the wind whipping. What were your takeaways from hearing Jeff Sims talk?
Yeah, I mean, he's a thoughtful, well-spoken guy. I talked to him after he committed, and I feel like not a ton has changed in the few months since he's gotten here. I mean, his goals when he decided to come to Nebraska were less about sort of the physical side and even the offense necessarily. And it was more about the intangible stuff. Like when he talks about getting better, it's about like cutting down on turnovers. He's got, I think, 30 touchdown passes, 23 career interceptions. So it's like, it's finding the details to be better at that. He's had injuries in his career at different times. So it's like, how do you recover better? How do you put yourself in a spot to where you're able to stay on the field? Like that's a little thing that he's looking to be more consistent at. And so, it's been an interesting, I think, quarterback camp to this point, right? Like Casey Thompson's not been out there, but Jeff Sims even still has credited Casey for helping him walk through film and just being a good teammate in that way. So, I get the sense that these are two guys who are essentially professionals. Both Sims and Thompson have started a number of major college football games. So I didn't get the sense that anything at this point was too big for Sims. I mean, he said as much, right? Like with the whole discussion about the cold weather kind of came from this idea that everything else about being here isn't all that shocking to him. Like he's learned offenses. He's, ingratiated himself to teammates. He's led, and he's going to continue to do that at Nebraska. It's going to be a little bit colder. I think he learned that long sleeves don't necessarily help you when you're out there throwing in 25-degree weather. So you might as well go sleeveless. But, I think it's just, and Matt Rule said it, it's just a situation where it's just going to take time and reps to get where you want to be. And I think he's in that process and, kind of understands he doesn't have to be ready for a game here in the next week. But if he just continues on the path that he is, it'll make for really interesting competition into the fall.
It's Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. Read his work at omaha.com, covering Husker football and baseball. Give him a follow on Twitter for live updates as well. Evan, appreciate your time as always. Have a good rest of your week.
Thanks, Austin. See ya.
Once again, Evan Bland with us here on the block. We'll step aside. Jay Foreman in the building. We'll cross it over, get you set up for old school after this.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A mix of sun and clouds, breezy and cooler. We'll see northeast winds at around 15 to 20 and an afternoon high of around 46. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Low dropping down to 32. Much warmer but windy tomorrow. South winds could gust near 40 with an afternoon high of 72. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. If you're not sure what your evening plans are and want to change things up, look no further than Craft Axe Throwing. Whether for a date night, an evening with friends, or even a private party, you're sure to make memories at Craft Axe Throwing. Trained instructors help make things easy to understand, and a stock bar makes it a great hangout spot. With 13 throwing lanes, there's plenty of opportunity to reserve your spot today. Choose the Lincoln location at craftaxethrowing.com to book a lane or call 402-802-9696. Craft Axe Throwing at 18th and N.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, Call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back out of Full House here on the block as we wrap it up with the crossover. I will adjust the camera to get Kenny in here in just a second. Jay and Kenny.
I'll get Jay in.
How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Doing well.
It's all good in the hood, man. You don't have to get. It's only for like 5 minutes, so you don't have to get us on. I mean, it's not that serious.
But we want to.
I don't think my mic is on.
Oh, you're on.
Yeah.
I'm on.
You're there.
We're doing good,
Yeah.
man. How you guys doing today? It's Hump Day, and
It is.
middle of the week. You know, now it's officially probably on the downhill slide since it's 4:00 and people will start getting off work. So we got to bless some people with some isms. What you two little whippersnappers been talking about?
The thing I wanted your opinion on, Lamar Jackson's contract once a lot guaranteed. Jim Irsay's against guaranteed contracts in the NFL. I totally get why the owners are against them. I totally get why players would want them. And of course, there's some guarantees in NFL contracts.
Yeah.
What is it that players would have to give to the owners to get more guaranteed money in contracts? Is there anything that would change that?
Pretty much their soul, and players already gave up too much in the last CBA. They essentially, in a lot of ways, lessen the. It's easier to become vested. There's less penalties for smoking weed, but then the benefits are spread out among more people. So so if you're adding more people to the pool and not increasing the pool, then
smaller chunk
for even players that have laid the legacy for these guys to benefit off of. So the owners don't want to have a fully guaranteed contract just because that means you set the precedent, and obviously Deshaun Watson really sent waves through it, and Cleveland was kind of really rogue, and so now you have essentially a whole league of owners that's against it, and it's not. And Lamar is unfortunately, as of right now, the poster child of being held to the standard because he's the next. He is a superstar type of player. So now you're seeing a conscious effort, which it's business. You shouldn't, because you don't want to be the realistic first to do it for a marquee player. Now you see, he's missed 5 games the last 2 years, but this season is different than last season. Last season, he could have came back and played. They advised him to get fully healthy, and it was more of a contract dispute. This year, he was actually hurt. So what? He's been the MVP. He's the Heisman winner. He's the guy that has the unique skill set that, probably, especially in the run game, he's obviously way more explosive than Jalen Hurts. You've seen Justin Fields really rip the league up with doing that run first. He's a better passer than he gets credit for. He's never had any receiver that's been healthy on the outside, and that was never their offense. That's a coaching and an organization problem. So, if I had to tell him something or give him one bit of advice, I like that he's out on his own. I would probably and really encourage him to get an agent on on payroll at a really low percentage. Because when you sign big contracts, these guys that are going first round, they're not paid. The normal is 3%. They're generally playing 1 to 1.5%. If I'm Omar or if I'm Lamar, I am 1% or less, and part of the deal is if it's his mom or an advisor that's working, kind of his business affairs, that it's a partnership along with them. I don't know if an agent would help him. I think it'd probably help him take the emotion out of it.
Mhm.
But I think with him, he's always been kind of a unique type of personality where this has been going on for quite some. You got to think he should have held out last year. He should have never stepped foot in training camp. He did it, and it shows you as a player being a good soldier. And I hate even using that type of analogy, or being a good player, a good company guy, or whatever you want to say. Never works out for you. They get you there, you play. They forget all that,
and then they say, "Oh, it's your choice. You didn't have to."
It's your choice, right? And so, it's a torn that lets you know he's a team first guy. He's a Baltimore Raven guy. That's why it's gotten personal.
And that's why I think there's so many people to blame. Let's take our 10-second ID, and we'll be back in a sec.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Because to some degree, Lamar is to blame for this. Like you said, not holding out last year.
Yeah,
maybe he didn't play the cards
the best. Blame, I guess and maybe an agent would have helped him make that decision. But ultimately, there's no blame on Lamar's fault or Eric, because he did he went and played. Now, granted, hindsight's 2020. He'll still be able to get. I mean, listen, if Baltimore doesn't want to pay him the $30 million and then he becomes a free agent, I guarantee you, a lot of these teams, whether it's the Commanders, whether it's the Falcons, all of a sudden they will have a new starting quarterback. I don't even care if they even draft a rookie, because he's actually in a good position. If he becomes a free agent, Baltimore wouldn't get any draft considerations in the future. Then he would be able to go and play somewhere for a 1 year, fully guaranteed $40 or $50 million deal and really maximize again. So he has more bargaining power now. Now you just see the media and everybody trying to kind of, pigeonhole him. He's got to really he's got to be steadfast in his beliefs right now, because you essentially have backed yourself in the corner. Everything will work out for him eventually. I just hate it for him, because he's actually a good kid, or a good, he's a man, a good person. He does a lot for the community, a good player, overcame a lot of unfair assumptions based on how he looks. Obviously, he has, still has some, braids or cornrows or whatever. So then, and he's not the Tom Brady articulate, type of quarterback, but everything else, or you talk about teammates and stuff like that, they all love him to death and they all want him around. So, I mean, that's few and far between. Look, the opposite is Johnny Manziel or like Baker Mayfield.
Right.
And, it seems like they have no problem being employed.
And see, that's the thing. All the good he does in the community, great teammate, but good player. He's a really good football player.
Yeah.
I think so many times we get lost in, oh, what about the salary cap, this or that? That's for GMs to worry about. As a fan, I want good players on my teams.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird situation when you think about it. He went late in the first round, and it was a great draft or choice by them. Immediately, taking the league by storm. Everybody's all up in arms about Mahomes and Hurts, and and obviously with Josh Allen and Burrow.
Yep.
But Lamar Jackson is that dude, and Baltimore's in a tricky situation. You don't take care of it. Now you are you rebuild. You're pretty much imploding that whole team. You will start to see people leave, and people will get fired off of it. And he's in his prime, and so it's a weird situation that you as bad as quarterback play is, you're really looking down the barrel of Will Levis being your quarterback. I don't care how many. I don't care. I don't straight up. I mean, I don't care that he lifted. I mean, he looked like a bodybuilder in his pro day, and I guess he was injured. I mean, he looks great. Anytime you got to tell me that you got the strongest arm, you don't have the strongest arm.
No.
If you have accuracy issues during your scripted pro day, that's a problem, and those are the same things that you're not going to improve that. at the highest
You're
level.
going to take a chance on that rookie quarterback, or you're going to get the guy who's won the MVP and taking you to the playoffs multiple times. I mean, it's
with no help,
with zero help. That's what I talked about earlier. His
Zero
best receiver, and this is no shade at Hollywood Brown, but his best receiver was a guy who could run fast but would drop touchdowns on the regular
and be hurt.
And then he had Mark Andrews. And we were talking about, what is it? Ron Rivera said that Sam Howell had Brock Purdy type upside.
You're passing on Lamar Jackson for Brock Purdy upside.
And I'm just thinking
Jacoby Brissett too.
Yes.
Is Brock Purdy upside? Is that the standard for quarterbacks now? Is that what we're doing? Brock Purdy upside?
I'm not a believer in Brock Purdy until I see him do it 2 years in a row.
And my thing was Brock Purdy. You see what Brock Purdy had to work with and got them to the NFC Championship. Give that team to Lamar Jackson, and it's no question they're in the Super Bowl. Not even a question.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Trey Lance. This is going to be something that we're going to talk about in our first big segment. Because John Lynch, who's the GM, who's right in there with Shanahan.
His words
with Purdy, it would be the guy taking the first snaps. If I'm Trey Lance, I'm looking at it, and this is what I'll get to. Like, if you are drafted number 3, your agent should be getting you out there to be getting traded, because then they're comparing you with no tread on your tires as far as getting hit and all that stuff to the guys coming out. It's Young and, Stroud, and then it would be Trey Lance. So then therefore you could go to an Indianapolis or somewhere like that and get in a really good situation, considering that Jordan Love is probably going to be at Green Bay. So that's going to be, and that will affect Lamar a little bit. But I ultimately think as things goes on, the teams that have been singing the tune of no Lamar, I think the ticker tape parade and the press conference will be pretty impressive when he ends up at another place.
I'm just waiting for New England to pull the trigger.
Not happening.
Just waiting for it.
Lamar had interest in New England, but New England said no as well.
Bill Belichick.
Get him to Indy.
Bill Belichick had nothing but praise for Lamar before the draft and while he's been at Baltimore. He's had nothing but praise.
That was then.
I'm waiting for it. They literally asked him. They asked him about it this last week, and he just praised Lamar about how great he is. I'm just waiting for it.
It's the opposite. That's just like getting the seal of approval in spring ball at Nebraska. And then you end up playing.
Just waiting for it.
Ask your boy. What was it? 14, Ramir. It scored. Sipple says Ramir.
Yeah, Ramir. That's my dude.
That's what we got for you on the block today. Stay tuned. Old School Kenny and Jay coming up next, right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Rico and I back with you for On the Block tomorrow. Stay tuned right here. Old School comes up next.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
If you're not sure what your evening plans are and want to change things up, look no further